Everyone, my name is Krista Edwards and welcome to another episode of Media Talks. This week we have with us one of my best friends, Jessika Dickerson. She is the founder and owner of Workin Girl blog. If you haven't followed her, look at the information below. Please follow her on Instagram and check out her blog. So Jessika, love your work. Why did you decide to start Workin Girl?
So I guess to kind of explain, I have to tell the story. Back in senior year, around the springtime, I had a dream that I was standing on a stage in an empty arena and my mouth was moving but nothing was coming out. That was like the first dream, and that was probably like the kind of the gist of the dream. And I woke up and I was kind of like, not really sure like what that was about. Night two, consecutively after that, I had the same exact dream. But in this dream, I was now like reading off of a piece of paper that had like my name signatured at the bottom. And so if anybody knows me, I always carry around a journal with me because I always jot down ideas or just things that just come to me. And so I have a journal next to my nightstand. So I woke up in the middle of the night and I began to just like journal, essentially kind of what the dream I think was telling me. Went back to sleep, next day, third day consecutively, had the same exact dream. And in this case, the arena was now filled. And I was speaking from a piece of paper that had my name signatured at the bottom. So I say all that to say that it really wasn't me necessarily creating Workin Girl. I truly believe that it was something that was placed inside of me to be able to kind of push forth into the world. And so I just started researching like blogging and like public speaking and like what all of that even means. And so I kind of just landed with Workin Girl blog.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is so important for you about tying in like your faith and your professional life? Because a lot, like that's kind of what a lot of your content is about. So what was the inspiration for that?
Yeah, so when I was going through kind of this creative process of figuring out what I was going to talk about, the main thing that I found was career, God, and talking about self-love, three things that I've always struggled with. And I wanted to create a brand that really focused on those things because one, I felt like they should be the most important.
Yeah.
But I think also at the same time, there are things that I struggled with. So everything that I write about is coming from personal experience. It's coming from a place that's really home to me and wanting to help other women get to that place. So I think merging the two was fairly easy rather than just, I want to do it, so how do I make it work?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So what was the inspiration for moving into apparel? I personally own two. I own the Coffee and Jesus and the, remind me of the second name, Personality.
Purpose over popularity.
Purpose over popularity. And then I see you're wearing something else.
Yes, so this is a new sweater that we are coming out with sometime in February, and it says, always remember who and who you belong to. And pretty much when I got into apparel, so I was doing blogging for a little bit at this point. It was probably like a year. And I kind of wanted to say, like, how can I represent Workin Girl in a physical form? It's web-based, it's Instagram-based, but like, how can I walk out into the world and show something and someone say like, oh, what is that? Or I love your shirt, whatever it is. And so that's how I kind of moved into like women's Christian apparel, I guess. I don't like labels, but I guess that's how I would group it.
Yeah.
But I like things that are stylish, that could be layered with other items. It could be ambiguous, but to you, you know what it means. Like to somebody reading this, you know, it could be about self-love. But to me, it's about faith. It's about who I belong to, who I'm called to be, and that's what I want my brand to be, is for of course, women to be brought to Christ, but also loving themselves in their own journey and process. Yeah.
And honestly, I think that's really authentic because there's not many spaces for that. There really are, especially that link, the faith part and the professional part. So specifically, one, I just love your work. I'm gonna say that again. I own all the shirts. I'm gonna say that again because, you know, just got to throw it in there. specifically as it relates to, you know, we're sitting here and we're talking, you do Instagram lives. What goes into your decision process for like the kind of organizations you want to work with? And you recently also did one with a blog that was really popular. So what went into that?
Yeah, so one thing I want to point out that you said was that there isn't a lot of people doing what I'm doing. And I found myself in that same position. When I was in the creative process, I was looking for people or pages to find inspiration from. I'm one of those people where like, when I have an idea, I go to like Pinterest, I go to Instagram, and like I try to see like what does that look like in physical form. And I had like no luck. Like of course you have like the Dana Chanels of the world, but like it wasn't truly the content that like I resonated with per se. There were bits and pieces of like what she does, and of course others, but it wasn't like I don't want to be like too pastoral. I also don't want to be too like entrepreneurial. Like I think that there could be a balance here that I'm trying to figure out, and so that's kind of where I went. But in terms of the Instagram live, so how that started was really during this time of COVID and us being inside and me wanting to highlight working women, right? Women that are really in their space, whatever space it is, and just killing it by their own means and by their own definition. You know, you're a working girl. Like everybody that I interact with in some way, shape, or form is a working girl. Whether it's you're in school or, you know, you have a blog or a brand or you're a pageant queen, whatever it is, like you are working on being successful towards something. So that's kind of how it started, and I just wanted to highlight everyday women. Of course, you know, we have the Beyoncés of the world and those that are public figures who are really successful, but what about the everyday girl who is working and striving and being successful? Maybe she doesn't have 1 million followers, maybe she just only has 100, but like in her space and in her field, and to God, most importantly, she's doing what she needs to do. So that's kind of where it started, and how my process works is I just kind of come up with like a theme or something that I really want to talk about. I've done Instagram lives about mental health. I've done about beauty standards. I have one lined up, and just a shameless plug, but I have one about a plus size model. She's been featured in Fruit of the Loom, Vanity Fair, Jet Magazine, and she's gonna talk about her story, really pursuing the modeling and beauty industry as a plus size woman. And I like to share those types of stories, the authentic stories that you can listen to it and say, wow, like I could do it. And not just that I could do it, but I could be successful doing it too.
Yeah. I think something that you said that is really true, that a lot of brands, like we make the mistake of, but it's because of social media and consumerism. We really look at, okay, we have 1 million followers or 1,000 followers or 5,000, and then that is what determines how successful we are, and that's really not the case. So I love that you're keeping that in mind and being so conscious of that as you look for different brands to work with. So before we close, are there any, I mean, you kind of said a lot of your updates. Is there anything else you'd like to share with those watching today?
Yeah, so I have a few Instagram lives coming up. They're called Working Girl Wednesdays. Those are my series. And also shameless plug as well. Chris doesn't know this, but I'm actually going to have Krista and her friend Jill come on for our Faith Friday series as well. Okay. So that's a lot of things I have planned. New apparels coming out, and some special things as well for women in the professional space. I'm super excited for what God is going to do in 2021, not only for me, but for my brand and for those that are going to engage and follow and actually just grow within themselves. I thank you for the opportunity to do this, and I think that you are truly inspirational in what you're doing, and continue to do it.
Amen. Thank you. Well, I didn't know this. This is real. This is not staged. I had no idea that I was going to participate, but this is really, you know, what this is all about. So thank you for watching today. This is Jessika Dickerson of Working Girl Blog. So please make sure you follow her at Working Girl. I said that right?
Yep. Working Girl Blog.
Yep. Working, no G, just the N. At Working Girl, you'll see the information below. I'm so excited for what you have going on this year. I definitely think that for anybody who's even thinking about, okay, how do I get into blogging and how do I successfully brand? One of the reasons why I invited you on this show is that you have beautiful branding and it's very consistent, but it also meets your personality.
Yeah.
If you see Jessika on the regular, she will have her glasses on, her blazer, her jeans, and some special shoes. And it's her specific style. When you go to her page, that's what it looks like. So as you're thinking about how do I cultivate my brand, what do I want that to look like, think about who and what you are, as your shirt says.
Yeah.
Who and what you are and how you want that to look. So thanks for tuning in today, and we can't wait to see you next time. Bye. Thank you for watching Media Talks. I hope that this has been informative and helpful for you as you are inspired to continue to create, continue to learn, and continue to grow in your business. If you'd like to be featured or you know any brands that we should be paying attention to, go ahead and email me at info@kristaedwardsconsulting.com. I'm looking forward to partnering with you. Have a wonderful day.